World Tank Blitzers, it's a Littlefinger. Yes, this is a full tank review on the Rhm. This is a tier 8 German tank destroyer. Yes, 150 millimeter on the top gun and no armor whatsoever. So before we get into the review, this is going to be a giveaway video. At some point in this video, I will put a Halloween word up on the screen. When you see that, please write it down with a comment, include your in-game name and server, and Armored Pants and I will be doing a drawing on the 31st for our big giveaway. All right, so let me just talk real quick. Obviously, this tank comes with a standard 128 millimeter gun, but the fun starts here with the 150. Consumables I run, the repair kit, the multi-purpose, and adrenaline. Could definitely see the need for an engine boost on this at times. If you're of the patient type that don't want to rush your next shot like I do. Provisions, running a chocolate, improved fuel, and chocolate bar. And then I've got 14, 10, and 6. Making sure that we're buying the premium there with the silver. Heat is our premium, which I am obviously not a big fan of. Calibrated shells, improved modules, camouflage net, and I am running supercharge on this. The velocity of these shells is quite poor. We'll see that in a second. Improved assembly, we have no armor. Engine accelerator and refined gun. And toolbox rounds out the equipment. All right, guys, blitzstars.com. Yeah, so I've got the Scorpion pulled up next to the Rhm-Borsig, only because it's very similar and I just wanted to do some comparisons with it. The other tanks have somewhat of a rotational turret. Charioteer and Prototype are fully rotational. The SU-130 PM is limited in its rotation ability. And obviously the JP2, in my opinion, is kind of the standard of a tier 8 tank destroyer. So if we look at these, you'll notice that our damage per minute is way on the low side. So keep that in mind. You do need support in this tank. You get rushed by anybody at tier 8 or tier 9, you are going to lose out on a DPM one-on-one situation. Pen on the AP is not super great. Heat does jump up nicely when compared to the rest of the tanks there, so we are top. But obviously our big number that we want to focus on here is our HE pen at 94 when we run calibrated shells. All right, rate of fire. Look at this, super slow, 16-second reload time. Like I said, you have to be patient. And here's our shell velocity at 645. And this is the difficulty with this tank. With being a sniper at long range, you have a much slower shell. Doesn't get on target as fast, so it's difficult to hit those moving targets. Now, weapon handling. These numbers are horrendous when you compare them to the other tanks, right? 0.417 dispersion. So again, have to be extremely patient with that aim time. All right, 5 degrees of gun depression makes this, again, a tricky tank to play. So a lot of factors working against you with this tank. Now let's throw in the fact that it's only got 35 kilometers per hour as its top speed. Again, doesn't allow you to get to positions quickly, doesn't allow you to get out of trouble quickly. Keep all of this in mind when you're playing this tank. Credit coefficient 85% is the worst. It can be difficult to make money in. And here we get into the absolutely no armor that I'm telling you about. Everybody knows to shoot HE anywhere at this tank. Not much you can do about that. Interesting to note that our average win rate here is at 51%. So it's right in the middle of these tanks, but it doesn't compare anything to like the Scorpion here, where we have 170% credit coefficient and a 55% win rate. Alright guys, I just want to put this clip in here from this game just as a warning to making sure that you don't lose track of your support. We finished off the T-34 here, but what's going to happen is the Emil, this is a tier 8 tank, is going to come around the side and he is going to put HE at us, and it's going to be 500 per shot. So just like that, within 3 seconds, that Emil can just obliterate you. Alright guys, so let us start with our first battle here on Castilla, which is a nice map for the RHM, obviously because we have some good sniping positions that we can get into depending upon where the teams go. My hope here is that the teams will split, providing me protection from up at the Castilla as well as at the windmill on the other side, so that I can climb up this ridgeline and get some sniping shots in. So away we go, up, and you can see here it's not extremely powerful. We gotta be right on line. But look at this. 112 here. This is a tank with a lot of armor, and from a distance there put a nice 636 damage in. Great way to start. We've got 2 that are going up to Castilla. Smasher looks like he's running out into the open. If I could get some spot on him, that would be nice. There's my spot. Alright, let's aim in and we finish him off. We are now at 1100 damage with just 2 shots. And that's what I keep finding myself with this tank. You know, I'll be only 3 or 4 shots into a game, but be averaging 2000 damage. So that just goes to show you how important it is to make sure every shot counts. Now, I've got this VK here, and I really want him to push up onto the windmill there so that we get the rest of these guys spotted. Normally I would not push this far forward, but as you note when we back out here, I have a guy sitting right in the lower part of B right there. So he's going to do any spotting of anyone that tries to cross over the C cap. Problem is that this VK is sitting on this hill here, and he hasn't pushed up to the windmill to get spots. So this IS-5 is in a pretty tough position. As you can see, the IS-3 is now moving around, and there he goes. Had that VK gone up the hill to put that the 1-2, the Celestial there, push him back, I think that might have been a different story. Now, there's obviously a fine line between camping and sniping, right? And in this game, since we have a cap to none and we're just collecting cap points at this point, I am not worried about my position and not being able to get spots on. I know it's going to be just a second before these guys have to make a move one way or another, whether they come around that opening there or they go up to the Castilla. And I've got all of those routes covered. And there goes one, and unfortunately I was looking the wrong way. I was hoping to get a shot in on the 112 there. Again, hoping T-49 comes around the corner, but the VK is not high enough on that hill to do any spotting damage for me. Granted, there are 2 guys probably now, the Scorpion, sitting behind those buildings at B. So, see, they're in those buildings shooting straight across B. But at least now the VK's moved up and capturing C. Although he is spotted. And he's going down fast. Alright, yeah. So as this is the point in time, I probably need to start doing something, except we've still got a guy in C. AMX over at A. And this IS-3 gives me just enough. I can drop an HE on him and just do splash damage, which will be just enough, I'm hoping here, for that AMX to come in and finish him off with a couple shots. And this is what I was expecting T-49 now to be on top of the hill, so we can drop HE onto him. He is now going to be a one-shot for us. And although we're down a tank, I'm not too concerned just yet, because we're still racking up those cap points. Now, I figure that what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to stop the clock, right? So they're going to have to put somebody over at A at some point in time. They've already got someone at B, which means my guy at C is probably not long for this game. But again, still 2 caps. We are getting our way up in cap points. And now we have our T-49 in A. The one thing about this tank, it does actually have decent camo rating. I think our... So we're able to take him out and he didn't even see us until we had shot. Alright, so there goes my guy at C. And I've just now got to hold on to A and get the remaining 100 cap points. Figure they're going to be coming around the quick way here from B, from our spawn side, so I have to make sure each and every one of these shots counts. We gotta be careful that our shot does not hit a destructible object. And there's 961 on the RHM. Drop adrenaline. I know this Scorpion is coming. He is the faster of the two. And I could probably go down here with just 2 shots. And here we go with the Chrono Platoon. They are about to stop cap. I have to stop them. And so I pull out and manage to kill and cross that 10,000 mark just in the nick of time. For, yes, an Ace Mastery game with 5,000 damage. And that was a well-fought battle. This is kind of what happens when you have 2 60%ers against 2 45, 48 percenters. And you can see these guys did not do much. That VK was out of position most of the game. But a rarity for this tank to get 8 shots in. But like I said, a good map for this tank. Alright guys, so here we are, Normandy, bottom tier. Again, another pretty nice map for this tank. And as far as supremacy goes, I like to pull up to the church here, as you can oftentimes get shots either side of the church over at C or to their BA area. I want to let the heavies push and you know, do your supporting damage with this tank. Good idea anytime you can to find a bush to help with those camo rating. If you can, you actually enhance your camo by being more than 10 meters, I believe it is, behind the bush. Right now I'm in the bush, so still getting an advantage, but not nearly as much of an advantage if I was a little bit further back. But the Lovas here is going to push aggressive. Aim for that lower plate, and there is 660 damage. And as you saw, we did get spotted. They have quite a few tanks down at A on our one guy, so that means we have to push this corner. We need to get in there. We can't be patient, because if I wait too long, the guy at A is going to be taken out and we will be flanked. So now I'm not spotted. I figure this is a good time to jump up here and make sure we get a shot on the ISU there and take him out. 2 shots, 1200 damage. It's very nice. We've cleared the corner there and gotten rid of 3 tanks. And somehow our IS-3 defender did a great job hanging on down at A. So we'll slide into cap here. Give us another cap. And they are going to take their time climbing the hill, and we are just ready. Let those heavies go first. A lovely little snapshot in there. That was luck. We'll drop adrenaline here, and the idea is to get around the backside of this Centurion and put HE into his butt. And here we go. There's 1170 max damage, putting us over 3,000 damage. There's a HE shot. He puts us sideways, and our shot just goes a little bit low into that spaced armor on his turret. So that's where we're going to end up. A quick game, 3,000 damage. So get those shells placed in the right spot. Use that HE, and you know, you have some really, really nice damage there. As you saw, 4 shots to do 3,000 damage. 664, 620, 548, 4 shots, and 1170. Alright guys, here is Fort Despair, and we are top team. And whenever I get you know, the lineup here, I like to look and see, you know, what tanks I might need to be prepared for the HE. Obviously the Emil on the sides and back, the Rhm and potentially sides and back, RHM all over, T44 if we get the back, T34s if we get the back, and VK probably not at all. And I'm being aggressive here, and I'm pushing, because I see that they have mostly all heavies, and I'm pushing off to the light side, expecting them to go heavy on this map. And we'll pre-aim up here where we expect a potential scout to peek over. Our team is being very passive for a group of heavy tanks. And there's the peek from the Emil. And we only get a track. Very frustrating. But the game taketh and the game giveth. So we'll see what happens when we go around the corner here. The Rhm. Obviously he is spotted. I am not. Throw a heat shot into there just because of the angle. I wasn't sure. And look at this. He is going to burn for quite some time. Here's our gun depression. He drops off and I'm like, oh, RHM. And it's another fire for 1100 damage. So that is why we love this 150 millimeter gun. Rhm hasn't even looked our way, and we finish him off with an HE shot. Now comes the trouble. T44s or T50, the Falcon T34 and the T44 are headed our way. Let's See if he wants to peek. He doesn't want to play ball with us just yet, so I'll go ahead and back up and help out my teammate here by getting a max roll into the T-34. However, the Emil is shooting me from behind and the T-44 from the front. Emil's on a reload. Now our gunner's dead, and yeah, we need to get undercover from that Emil who let us have it there. And we are out of repair kits. So this is what happens when you have a dead gunner. We are aiming on the T-34. It doesn't matter how long we wait, we're not going to get any better accuracy than that, and we are going to miss. This is so tough. I need to wait this 20 more seconds to be able to fix the gunner. But a strong team here doing the right thing. This T-34 next to me is nice and hold down. The Emil is taken out. 5 on 2. And I'll just follow in behind the Falcon here. And here we go. We rush and miss our shot. So, just want to point out, guys, that if you don't fully aim on this tank, chances are it's not going to go where you aim. That 0.4 whatever dispersion and the long aim time really are a factor. So keep that in mind. Alright guys, so hopefully you found the word and you have left a comment with that word, your in-game name and server. And also make sure that you are subscribed to both Armored Pants and my channel, as that is a requirement for this giveaway. And we will be doing the drawing together live October 31st. See you then guys. Have fun out there, stay safe, get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.